Hello, everyone. I'm Maggie Kashkur from Global Sellers, and I'm running this interview today with one of our speakers, Norm Rogers. This interview is we are organizing these interviews for our conference that will take place in Warsaw, 24 and 25th of April this year. The aim of this interviews is to introduce our speakers a little bit, give you some kind of idea on their area of expertise. They can say something about themselves, but they can give you some idea on what you can expect during the conference from the speech, from networking with them. And the conference name is Know How. So our aim for this particular conference is to bring you practical knowledge that can be implemented into your businesses in order to expand. That's the aim, and that's how we were working with our speakers. And speakers are also experts within the industries. And this is what I can also say about Norm. Norm, he has started his online business, Amazon business, in 2017 as Amazon seller. And because of his background, being in IT, software development, and his very entrepreneurial approach and passion to the business, he quickly realized that there are things missing within this industry that can help people to manage this business properly. And this is what happens really when people start doing things seriously. They do have a serious approach to the business. They are entrepreneurial. They spot straight away things that should be fixed. And this is how Norm approached this. And as a result of that, he decided to implement a great tool, which is called Seller Toolkit. The shortcut is STK, that is managing finances, that is showing you all the details about your cash flow, about expenses, about everything that you need to make really good decisions on your business, and also helping you to manage everything smoothly and not wasting time on reports in Amazon. So that's a little bit of introduction from myself, Norm. You are a great entrepreneur. You are a great software developer. You have this knowledge about Amazon sellers, Amazon business. So please do introduce yourself as well.
Okay. Sure, I'm Norm Rogers, and I've been an IT developer since I left school, and I wanted to get out of it. I wanted to find some other businesses, and I found Amazon selling. And as you said, I realised that there were just no tools out there that would make my business easier. It was just like ridiculous way of been trying to work out if you're really making money or not making money. So I set out to write an app for myself. It wasn't meant to be for everyone, and then quickly realised that this would work for everyone. And I started building it in 2018. Went live in about 2020 during the first COVID, I think it was 2020, and it's evolving every day. I'm building new parts of STK. Yeah.
I know because I'm watching you online and I can see the updates and everything, how you work closely with community, and that's very important. That you are actually responding to the demands and requirements that people raise, and straight away you are on track. So thank you for the introduction. I'm really happy that you are taking part in this conference because we've met some time ago and I could see on the stage and the personality you have. This is something that people can obviously compare themselves to, your personality and your approach to the business. So I do have a few questions for you. So our attendees can obviously know a little bit more about yourself, what to expect from your input into the conference. So the first question is, what are the biggest challenges and opportunities in your area of expertise today?
I think from my point of view, from knowing your profits and everything, it's pretty much the same when I started to now. I mean, based on my experience as an ex-seller, I don't sell anymore. I don't have time to do that. And talking to many of my customers or many of the SDK users, they're the same. They just want to have accurate profitability way to see their profits on a daily basis, ways to see that each item they're selling is actually truly profitable or not profitable. And there are many people that come onto SDK and they'll say, oh my God, I was using such an app, I thought I was losing money. Or I was using such an app and I thought I was making money. But SDK is renowned to be one of the most accurate apps, especially when we're dealing with European VAT. And so the challenges I've always found is what I wanted was an easy way of stock control. What I first found when I was selling was I didn't know where my stock was. Amazon don't know where your stock is most of the time, right?
Yeah.
So it was stock and reimbursements. How do I get reimbursements? So I built things that would automate, if Amazon still owed you money reimbursements, automations and repricing. And the repricing software at the time was dreadful. I still believe most repricers these days are dreadful because they hide behind this thing called AI when there's no such thing. They're just following rules that you don't know about. There's knowing there are also some apps that will consider your customer's refund is a loss of your COG. Yeah, and it's not, because that item could be damaged and you get reimbursed for it. It could be that the customer returns it, goes back on sale. So I had just one customer just recently say that I can't believe that I thought I was making such a loss on all my refunds when I wasn't. So they're the things. So as a seller, I believe it's rare for a seller to actually have written an app. They're generally written by people that want to sell an app to sellers. And I was a seller, and everything that comes up. I mean, I get asked for things, actually, as you just said, like on Facebook, things that obviously I'm not a seller now, but things that I've already got on my list of things to put into the app. So I'm always thinking ahead of the opportunities that we've got and stuff. And some of the opportunities now are whenever Amazon changed their policies. And the opportunities are now, like whenever they change their policy about like stock control, wherever it's going to be, where your long terms are, and they change, and like I'm on top of it because I have a really great Facebook group, and they're on it straight away. If they get a new policy warning on now, and then I have to build it into the app. So the challenges are the same. Opportunities are always based on Amazon policy, essentially.
That's true. And I'm glad you're saying this because it's something that we struggle with on a daily basis. And I'm also lucky enough to work with a wide range of Amazon sellers, something that I don't experience myself. I have opportunity to experience through my clients, my students, my community. And that's how we learn more, considering Amazon itself. And being accurate with everything, something that you mentioned, how many people lost their business because they weren't monitoring their finances?
Absolutely. And that is a shame, because I do see people cancelling, and their profit at the end of the day is like next to zero. And you can see people who, when you, like yourself, you see thousands of people that are like in your group. And there are just some people make it big, and some people don't make it at all.
Yeah.
And I always wonder, what's the difference between these people? Do they know their numbers? Are they really understanding it, or are they just lazy and not running their business properly?
You see, I think people are not aware of overheads that they are facing, especially considering Amazon, ways they are losing money. It's obviously sometimes for them monitoring all these reports, it's too difficult. They rely on certain information they have, or they think they are correct. And then it comes to the situation that they make good revenue, and that's something that makes them blind. Because
absolutely.
it's like, obviously this is the way we present ourselves, 7, 8 figure, whatever revenue. I always ask, how about profit? Because we can present ourselves as being rich as hell, but at the end of the day, how much money you taking back home with you? And that's the most important
Absolutely,
thing.
absolutely. You could be making seven-figure revenue, like next to nothing profit. Anybody can do that. And I mean, we're probably well aware. Used to scam, probably still do, showing their look. This is my revenue. Like this month I turned over $250,000 or whatever, and then like, yeah, but what as you say? Show me your profit. So even
Exactly.
if you show your net profit on your sales, then you've got your overhead. So SDK's expenses and that. So you put everything into SDK, you can see your business profit, not just your sales profit, but your profit on your business.
But that's true. Back in the days when I wasn't using any tools, we were like working on our own calculations. But I've been in business since 2011, and I remember times when we had no tools. Then you have your margins calculated, everything fine. But then it comes to the overheads of the business, and then you may end up doing nothing because you have your space, employees, whatever, everything else that you don't calculate into your calculations. I spend quite a lot of time on analyzing everything. So it's actually, when you are talking to me about all these aspects, it's like my daily routine on working on this. So, but considering the event, what are the key tips and takeaways that attendees can expect from your speech, from your expert roundtables, from networking with you at the conference?
Well, what I'd like to introduce people to is what I find most apps either don't do or don't do accurately. One of them is first in, first out COGS. So one of the biggest pains sellers have is entering their COGS. Okay, so every time everyone hates doing that. I hated doing it from the start. And we're trying to make it as simple as possible. So like every time you enter your COG. If your price is the same as the last shipment, you don't have to do anything. But if it's like, if you've got to change a price, you're going to just change the COG for that shipment. And what SDK does, it applies your cost of goods in the order that they arrived, and it also applies them based on, you might send in 10 items, 5 of them are damaged. So SDK knows 5 are damaged, so the first 5 are going to be damaged and lost at those COGS or reimbursed. But the next 5 orders are going to be of that new COG, and then your next batch, then it will start applying the next batch of COGS. Yeah, so you may pay £20 for your first 10 and £25 for your next 16. So you don't have to, like with most apps, you're going to. How would you know at what point that that 5 have sold or 5 were damaged, and then you've got to go into your app and then change. Well, don't use £20 anymore. Use £25 going forward. And that I didn't want to be doing that. Like I may as well have a spreadsheet to do that. So I built this first in, first out. I want to introduce people how that really works. I wanted to just stop reconciliation. SDK has a very robust stock reconciliation process, and it keeps track of all your stock, where it is, what happened to it, if it's lost, if it's damaged, and basically it's like a bank balance, and it should end up as 0. Now I introduced that way before the Amazon Ledger, which they say is like a bank balance, and I thought, hey, did they take that from me? But that ledger still is incorrect. I've found very many errors in that ledger, so I take all the information from all everywhere, as well as the ledger, and put it together and come up with where your stock really is. And the other thing that it does, it tells you what reimbursements you're owed, because Amazon just changed recently where they would allow up to 18 months to claim, and that's now come down to 60 days. So there's reconciliation reimbursements. It just pops up on your alerts every day. You've got a reimbursement to claim, go claim it. So it's all in one. It's a one-stop shop app. It does everything rather than having a profit and loss, a repricer, and a reimbursement app. It's all in one app. And I also want to replenish. I want to introduce. We have a replenish process which alerts you of items that are running out of stock and you need to restock. And this process was actually developed alongside a I would say it again, a multi-million-pound seller who wanted something simple, and he could just type in how many days cover he wants, and it just said, "You're right, you need to order these amount of items." And also the repricer. I want to introduce the repricer, the STK repricer, because it is fully controlled by the seller. And you have automations within the repricer, so you can just leave the repricer. All your items are repriced, and you can say, right, after, if I've still got items that are like 180 days old, move to this rule, and which lowers your price or lowers your minimum ROI. And then if you've still got no sales in another 90 days, it'll move on to. So everything is automated. So the thing about everything I want to introduce you here is the time-saving things that STK does, that you can go and do what you're supposed to be doing, which is concentrating on your business. It's like a VA. STK is like another VA. It's running in the background, doing everything for you.
I'm glad you're saying this, because we need to build this awareness across business owners, but also the employees, on use of smart tools, and then making the most of them, making sure that they are being used on a regular basis across all the possible activities within the business. The business owner should be aware that such a tool exists, what it does, what you can expect from it. Then his employees who are working on things on a daily basis, replenishing stock, doing reimbursements, they should be able to use it on a regular basis, and that would save them so much time. Well, I remember times when we had no tools, and now when we have finally tools that are helping us to do this business properly, gosh, we've sped up so much with everything. Every tool that we are adding that is helping us on a daily basis, it's absolutely smashing the speed of work, how we do the work. So when we talk about the conference, we talk about business owners coming to the conference, but also the employees. So we want to make sure that business owners, they get the eyes open for opportunities that are there in terms of expansions, in terms of solutions, in terms of business approach. That's something that you mentioned, that people are not aware of things, and they make their life difficult instead of simplifying that. And the attendees as employees, they could learn that this is the tools, that's what should be done, and that's how we should implement it into our business. I want to also encourage people to come and talk to you, because you are also a sponsor, so you will have your stand. There will be plenty of opportunities to come to you and talk to you about different things. But the whole networking, the whole expert roundtables, discussion panels, your stand, because you've mentioned about your community, and I want to encourage people to come and ask questions, share their pains, share their expectations, share things that they struggle with our experts, with our tools providers, service providers. So you can actually then go home and think about how to resolve their problems, and then in a couple of months or so come up with solution that will actually come across and help them do their business even better. And I want to make sure people, please prepare questions, have some ideas listed for people that you want to resolve, because people like Noam, they will be there to help you out. That's the whole idea, to make sure that it is practical and successful for everyone. And the last question for you, Norm, looking ahead to the next year, what do you think are the important things that e-commerce sellers should focus on in your area of expertise?
Okay, well, that's I find that's different for every seller. It's like there's new sellers, experienced sellers. They all have their different ways, but most experienced sellers should have their everything systemized. Everything should be automated, and what I find is that the new sellers coming to the game always want to save money and therefore don't use the tools that are available to them. And going back to what we said earlier, don't really know how much they're making. So looking ahead, I don't. As I'm going to say the same thing. It's all about automation, getting your systems automated so that you don't have to do all that work. Let the tools do the work. You concentrate on the business. So it's much about what I went through. Not much has changed in that area, apart from the fact that I'm building out lots more features into SDK. As you said on the group, people are always asking for, can we have this? When can we have that? And so I've got a huge list of new things, full of lots of opportunities for SDK to grow, which is quite amazing how much it's grown actually. But yeah, so from my point of view, it's using tools like SDK to automate your business as much as possible for you to concentrate on your growing your business.
Exactly. I will also be touching quite a lot of things about expansion, growing, and automation of your business. So, SDK is one of those key tools that will help people, especially like you mentioned, some people are trying to do things themselves rather than helping themselves with using tools. So I'm glad you mentioned these are very important things that some people don't consider. People are concentrating on research of products, they concentrate on this and that, but when it comes to running their business, they are behind because they are not using specific tools. They don't monitor their income. They are afraid of systemizing and automation of their business. So we really touched a very good subject in terms of the e-commerce itself, but overall business. That's what I said at the very beginning. You are the entrepreneur. You are also a business development person. So you will be not only telling people on how to do things technically, but you will bring this mindset to everyone about running business, and you are such a great natural person doing that naturally. So I'm really excited that you will be on the stage among all these experts and great solution expertise. So it will be like in 2 months' time, 2 and a bit, that we will see you in Warsaw. For everyone to know, the event again will take place in Warsaw. It's 24th and 25th of April. This event will be run in English. However, after the conference, everyone will have provided recordings of this event, and they will be translated to a number of languages. If someone is not speaking excellent English, you don't need to worry about anything in terms of the expert roundtables or in terms of the discussion panels. There will be people walking around translating if you need any help, so nothing to worry about. But in overall, we have a really good speakers. Those speakers, they speak on international events. I've met Norm also at international event in UK. So trying to bring the best experts into the event. Norm, thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to see you in Warsaw. If people have any questions in the meantime, I encourage sending them to us. Anything in particular for Norm, please do let us know. We'll pass over information to Norm so he can make sure he will include this in his speech, or we'll have information ready for you to talk to you at the event. So thank you so much, Norm, for your time.
Thank you very much.
Important information. I really appreciate that. And we will see you in Warsaw in April.
Okay, see you then.